Okay, so the third of our semi-solo sessions with our characters while they are on break, we have Eilissia up next. And
Hi.
hi. And you guys are all starting on the same day. You're starting exactly 7 days a week out from the beginning of the Dragon's Defeat Festival. And you wake up in Alura's tower that she has been sharing with you over the last night or so. And what would you like to do in this great city of Emon?
Well, the first thing I would do is probably start transcribing the one spell that I finally have time to do into my book, the Gift of Warning spell that I got ages ago.
Yeah, it was kind of a
It
while
takes like
ago.
that's a while. It's a level 30 spell, so it'll take me 6 hours
Okay.
because it's according to the thing in the player's handbook, the 2 hours per spell level and 50 gold per spell level,
Right.
which is almost all my money.
Yeah. Well, there's party funds you can definitely hit or
There's
run up
part
for
funds.
some money.
I asked
Yeah.
them I could take some of it, so yeah.
I'm sure that won't be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glyph of Warding, right? It's the Glyph of Warding.
Yeah.
Third level spell, 50 GPs, right, per level, so 150. Yep, 6 hours. I'm just looking at my notes confirming. Okay, it's an Arcana check.
Yeah.
All right, roll your dice.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Oh, I got a 10.
a 10 is exactly what you needed.
Oh,
So
thank
it was
God.
just that was the DC.
I rolled a
It's
3 and I was like, oh no, this is
God,
gonna
oh
go
god.
bad.
It's a good thing you didn't roll a 1 because that would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, at a
Oh
10 or
yeah.
above on an Arcana check, you do manage to not only successfully transfer the spell into your spell book, but also maintain the scroll's integrity.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
so you have an additional scroll should you
That could
need
be
it.
smart.
If you don't happen to have that spell prepared and you need it one day.
Considering I'm not the only spellcaster.
Right. Yes, you do have some spellcasters in your party, so that actually could be accomplished by just about anybody who has magical ability. And you have a bard now, so that's...
Everyone except Hazel, basically.
Well, and Hazel has her own capabilities as well. She would
Yeah.
not be without the ability to do it, but it would just be harder for her
Yeah.
because
True.
she has some blood hunter magic. Okay, no, that was. I mean, you sat in. Actually, let me show you exactly where you sat at. So,
Oh
Allura
yeah.
brought you tea in the morning, and
Oh.
offered her the use of her library.
I love it.
So you found a corner. She understood your need for, just focus and near silence, and you're surrounded by just a few random noises. There are weird orbs. They're really pretty, but it's just strange. These little magical wisps almost that are kind of floating around. They remind you a little bit of the Feywild. And you sit and you focus and calm down there, music, slow down. Okay. It's always loud. And you look down and you don't even realize how much time has passed. To you, it felt like mere minutes. And the sun has moved from early morning to mid-afternoon at this point. And you look down and you have this new spell in your book, and also the scroll is still there.
Oh my God, I did it. I did it. Yes.
You see Allura kind of pop her head in the door and look at you quizzically. Is there something? I'm assuming that's a good thing.
I managed to transfer the spell and also contain the scroll.
There's a look of
I had never
like
done this before.
there's a look of surprise on her face, and she comes over to almost like a teacher mentor kind of thing, hover over your shoulder for a minute and just look. And her fingers don't even touch the page, but you see little bits of arcane energy kind of hover off of her fingertips as she's almost measuring the integrity of what you've done. And she looks back at you and she goes, That was exceptionally well done. Congratulations."
Thank you.
That was. I have a. I had a thought when I met all of you, and I know that we don't know each other well, but you have to understand that I trust Yurik. I trust his judgment, and I trust, therefore, his, what's the word I want to use? It's not companion. I trust the people who work for him. And so I trust Tyrax, and therefore, you guys, by that relationship, that's why you're here, among other reasons. Question of these artifacts and these, well, quite honestly, I'm not sure at this point. I have someone I think you'd enjoy meeting. Would you like to come with me to the Lyceum?
Yes, of course.
Okay,
I
and
would
that
love
is
that.
if you're done here. I certainly don't want to interrupt your work.
Um, I I only have no. I'm not really sure I have anything more. It's
Oh,
like the things I want I can do later.
all right, all right. Um, yeah, come with me. I have someone I think you would deeply enjoy, and they would too. So she moves you from the tower that's being rebuilt of hers into Emon proper. And this is the first time you've really ventured out into the streets of Emon, and it is bustling. People are hanging banners up everywhere. You see colorful lanterns being strung, and there's a general mood of, I described it in one of the other sessions with one of the other players as there's this strange but hopeful mix of we've lost so much, but we're rebuilding. We can grow. We can put ourselves back together. And then, of course, there's that party mood also suffusing all of this. And you smell food being cooked. There are literal pies in windows that are being put out to cool, and just all kinds of people moving about. And you really get the sense. Has Eilissia been to Emon before?
She's been through. I think she's been to the Lyceum while
Okay.
she was like traveling
Okay.
or ending up in Western. But she was mostly at the Lyceum and just
Okay.
searching, not really caring so much about anything else.
That's what I
I
wanted to
feel.
make sure of. Okay. So you right. So your time in Amman was very focused and quite limited, and you are now getting this very blatant idea of how diverse this city is. So yes, there are humans. There are people wearing similar robes like Alora's, but you also see just working class people. You see smiths and bakers and tanners, people who are running their general goods stores. You see children running through the streets, and there's that hope. There's that burst of light. Like, yes, we have survived this horrible, horrible thing, and we can go back to the former glory that was Emon. So as you guys walk through, it's a nice walk. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And Alora's just making small talk with you. She asks you about where you come from. Is there anything you want to tell her specifically?
I'll probably just tell her I'm from Widemount and travel to uh most of Taldori when I was, well, I guess 16, 18 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been staying in stayed in Western a while with the wizard named Eanster before the dragons came.
Okay.
Probably just mentioned him, and yeah.
I'm familiar with Eanster. We had met a few times. I am very sorry for what happened. It's we've all
That's
suffered,
okay.
and
Yeah.
you have my sympathy. You truly do. It's not been easy on anyone, and that's, I think, partially why everyone is looking so forward to the festival, because it's that point where we move forward and don't look back as much.
Yeah, I think we deserve a proper celebration without worrying about is it really over or is it just a break?
I completely agree. You might think about attending the opening ceremonies in a week, actually, in 7 days from now, because they're going to. I know Salda, the Taldore's wife, is going to do a little speech, and there's going to be a statue unveiling, actually, of Fox Machina, which I'm sure a few of
Oh,
them would absolutely love, and a few of them would absolutely hate. So it's probably a good thing they're not around to see it. But yeah, think about attending the opening ceremonies. I think you'll be I've heard a little bit of Solidus speech. She's been practicing. She seems nervous. I maybe attend. It'll be a good thing, I think, for everyone to hear.
I'll do that. I'll bring the rest of my party too.
Your party, very interesting group. That's
Yeah,
for certain.
we got together by chance, not choice. But I like them. They have my back, and I have them. Theirs.
And that, I think, is the start of every good hero's story. That's for certain. Yeah. That is, if the legends tell us anything, or if Vox Machina can teach us anything. Having each other's back.
Anyone can.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anyone can, there's them.
Well, that is true. I have a feeling very soon we're going to see lots of little children running through the streets, pretending to be Vax and Vex and big old Grog, right? Smiting down the dragons and saving entire kingdoms.
Let's hope Lord pretends to be Scanlan, and I think we're good.
Don't underestimate that little bard. He's got quite the big heart. You just have to get past the fart jokes and everything else.
I'll trust you.
He's certainly entertaining. By this point, you guys have reached the Lyceum. You are familiar with this building, and she takes you into the front part of the Lyceum, which is the public end of that building. So the publicly available part of the library, and you see people bustling about. Again, all manners and makes of people. This is an actual library, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, that reminds me of, like, I don't know if the roof reminds me of the Vatican, but I don't think it's the Vatican.
It's not. No, I believe this is in Portugal.
Yeah, it reminded me of, like, the museum right next to the Vatican.
Yeah, but, yes. I was like, no, we're using that. It's too cool.
Yeah, it was so cool.
It is. It's gorgeous. You see people just moving back and forth. Some are sitting at desks and writing frantically with quills. Others are just browsing the stacks. It's pretty busy in here. What you didn't experience when you were at the Lyceum was the private part of the library that's only for students. And so she moves you past that. She says hello to a couple people, very professorly looking types, nods to a couple of students. Everyone watches her. I mean, this is Allura Vysoren. Everybody watches her as she walks through. And this power she commands without even trying, it's impressive as hell. But if she knows the fact that everyone's looking at her, she's not aware of it. She doesn't seem to acknowledge the sway she has over people. So she moves you through this room into another similar room, and then through some back doors after speaking to what looks like a guard, and then moves you into the private section of the library.
Oh my god.
This is in Brazil, so that's another real one.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. There are these
so pretty.
Magical globes hanging up. We're just going to say that instead of chandelier. Hanging up over the top of this absolutely gigantic section. It's 3 or 4 times the size of the sections you moved through. There are a few people in here, more students, however. And it's very quiet. They're all frantically writing. There was supposed to be music, and it's not. There we go. A little bit. Hey, that's better. And over to the left-hand side, in a corner, with a table scattered with books, there is a figure. It is robed in the Lyceum colors. It is also hooded. And you catch a flash of their hand as they're writing, and it seems odd. It doesn't look completely corporeal. And she leads you over there, and the minute she approaches the table, this being looks up, and you see a strangely watery figure. And it smiles and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there." And Allura grins back, and she says, "Oh, Flux, don't worry about it. I actually brought you someone. I thought the two of you would get along quite well." And she turns to you, Eilissia, and she says, "This is Flux. They are one of our better spellcasters in their class, let's just say. And they've been doing some interesting research. I thought the two of you might want to compare notes.
Hi, I'm Eilissia, Seakeeper.
The being in front of you laughs, and they say, "Oh, Sea Skipper, that's actually kind of funny considering you are getting an idea of this creature now, and it's actually a water genasi.
Oh,
Far more watery than solid form. But you do see there's a little flicker in their form, and they solidify a little bit more. This is a rather large person, about 6 feet tall, and you now see bits of hair poking out of the hood. It's kind of a gray-green color, and their eyes stop wavering, and they turn a bright aqua blue.
yeah, fun. I never met someone like you before.
Oh,
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm actually from Wynandir in Wildmount.
Wellmount?
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
Really?
I'm from Diastock.
Oh.
Diastock,
yeah. I actually had relatives in Diastock. Really? Come sit. And they shove books off to the side. Not off the table, but just like off so you have a place to sit. Because it's just a mound of books. And they look at Allura and they give a little wave, and Allura gives a little wave back, and she goes, "I'm just going to leave the two of you alone. Eilissia, when you're done, you have a pass to come in and out of here as much as possible. The guards know who you are, so you're welcome to use the library whenever you're in Emon. And if I might, think about joining the Lyceum at some point, perhaps."
I'll think about it. I'm most likely to do it. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Come find me when you want tea. I'll be back at the tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. And she walks off.
Bye.
Flux is looking at you very curiously now, and you see them shrink down a little bit, and their form shrinks down to gnome size.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a bit of a difference in size, I think.
Is that better? I'm sorry, I don't mean to make people nervous.
You don't make me nervous.
Oh, good.
I am used to having people larger than me. I traveled with a really tall dragonborn for the last weeks.
I had neighbors who were dragonborn. They were fun.
They're funny types.
I have all of these. Sorry, this is a bit of a mess. I've been here for, oh boy. And they look out the window, and I've been here too long. What are you working on? Because I have about 5 different things going right now, and I'm just curious to figure out which one I can help you with.
I'm not sure because I have like 5 different things I'm working on.
Oh, I like it. A fellow researcher. This is great. Maybe we can help each other.
Yeah. Yes. I think what maybe Laura was talking about, we're researching this god of a kind, or not god, old god. He died recently.
Oh.
He was called Sylvanus. Ever heard about him? Or Vogon?
No, I mean, not off the top of my head. Hold on, let me get my D20 out and figure out, yeah, because their history's pretty strong, so, I'm gonna actually have, them, come on! It won't come out of the thing! I'm gonna have, it's being stubborn, have them make a history check. You can go ahead and make a history check, too. To figure out where to start.
No.
No? Oh no, what was it?
A 1.
Damn it. They rolled a 22.
I need to change a die.
You do. That's a bad die.
I'm gonna change it.
Okay.
It's my rainbow die too.
Boo. It's not supposed to be a traitor. Okay, yeah, 22 on that.
Yeah.
So they stand up and start floating. They do not walk. Floating over to a stack a little ways away, probably 50 yards or so away. And you see them kind of very quickly run their hands over the covers, and then they pluck a book off the shelf, and they come back, and it is a history book. It's definitely kind of a history of the world deities type of thing. And they say, well, I think this is probably the best place to start. It's known history, but I've found that some of the more interesting tomes in here, you think they're one thing, and then you get into the back, and it has an index or something on or an appendix on something you just never expected. So I'm gonna start here, and they hand you a couple more books, and you guys can start flipping through to see what you find. So you're looking for answers or just any other information on these two names.
And probably if I see any reference to like the sash that we found,
Okay. Okay.
or like anything about our recent adventures,
Okay.
because I'm thinking my party members would like to find answers.
Sure.
Also that. Then I can try and find information about the other things later.
Okay. I am gonna have you make. This is difficult. Researches. Go ahead and make an investigation check, and I'm gonna have Flux make.
Oh, that's
too.
better. That's a 20 not natural, if I remember my.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 not natural.
Okay, and they rolled a 23, so natural 19.
Ooh.
You guys start flipping through, and it's you're running into the same kind of thing again, where it's the known history of the world, right? It's the known history of the gods and the things that aren't known. The thing about, how did the Raven Queen come into power? Like, that ritual isn't known. So it's just very loosely referenced based on the research that's been found over the many, many, many centuries of the known world. And you guys get to the ends of your books, and it's like, I'm not getting anything more than what I expected. Like, this is kind of frustrating. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
But I can try.
Flux has to make one too.
Ooh.
This was not good.
Mine. Yeah. Mine. That's a 11.
Okay. Yeah, that's a fail. And they failed too with a 12. So you look at Flux, and they look at you, and there's this. You've never ever experienced this before. There's a weird haziness to your vision. It's like you trying to stare through fog at them, and they kind of reach out to you. Do you feel strange? Like, is your
fog?
Yeah, like I can't see, and then there's a ringing in your head, Eilissia, and you have to clutch the front of your head, and it passes after a few seconds, and you look down at your books, and you see on the front of the cover those two names again. You see Sylvanus, and you see Vogon. And then below it, you see the Throne of the Gods.
What just happened?
I don't know. Oh, my head. Oh, I was thinking it was just because I've been here too long, but if it's you too, what was that?
I have weird god shits.
I don't think I like this. I feel kind of sick. And they look down at your book, and they don't see anything.
Oh, not again.
Something wrong other than your head? Are you alright?
Well, my book, it says Sylvanus Vogon, the Throne of the Gods. Another book comes up with writing when I don't want it to.
They kind of pass a hand over the books in front of you. There's nothing there.
Oh, why does this keep happening to me?
They are gonna roll. Okay. They reach out to you, not touching you though, and they say, would it be okay if I just really quickly tried to scan your mind for a second? Is that okay?
Feel free.
Okay.
I think I need someone else with the brains to try and figure out what's wrong.
Okay. I'm not gonna poke around. I just want to see if there's anything on the surface that my I wasn't raised by genasi. I was raised by gnomes, and one of them taught me this trick. It's mostly to just kind of like, because I used to have nightmares, and she would do that for me. It was almost just like a kind of flattening out a ripple in a pond, right? Just trying to calm it a little bit. Let me see if I can do this. So they reach out, and there's this, it's not cold, it's cool. It's a very soothing sensation that comes over your temples. And they close their eyes and focus, and you see a little bit of greenish blue energy kind of float off of them for a second. Okay, that's not bad. All right, that was a 15. I did an Arcana check on that. And you feel your mind calm, and you feel a sense of ease come over you. And you're not losing anything you just learned. You're not... It's just a sense of, okay, this is weird, but it's going to be okay. It's kind of like that mantra. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. And you feel much better in a matter of seconds. And they pull back and they look at you, their eyes a little dimmer now, and they say, is that any better?
I'm calmer. That's
good. That's good.
better.
That's what it's supposed to do. I mean, I can't, take anything away, but I can, it helps. I think I do it for some of the other students here sometimes when we're all, crunching for exams, because we all start freaking out. And so, yeah, you're welcome. I'm sorry that happened. That fog was weird. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. It's okay. Thank you for helping me.
Of course. It's nice to meet somebody from Wildmount. We don't get many people over here from there, so it's always nice to talk to somebody who knows, where, more than just where it is on a map.
Yeah, I think most people head to the academy if they want magic studies.
Yeah.
Those pompous bastards.
They wouldn't let me in. You believe that?
Didn't?
No.
I didn't even try.
No. Oh, can't blame you. It's not worth it.
Well,
the trial is so difficult.
It's your loss. Like, their loss, not your loss. I'm sorry.
I knew what you meant. The DM knew what you meant. No worries. They just smile a little bit, and you guys can go back to your digging. You don't really come up with anything. It's, other than that weird moment, it's kind of fruitless, this search. And it's frustrating, and they seem to be frustrated. At one point, they leave and they come back with a tea tray and some like little cookies and that type of thing. And the sun is now starting to sink into the horizon. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm guessing I was probably going to start looking for anything referencing the throne of the gods, since we've heard that thing at least twice or 3 times now.
You've heard it at least twice.
At least twice, yeah, because the throne of the gods needs to stay empty, and now this, so I'll probably start looking for anything referencing a throne of the gods.
Actually, you've heard it 3 times, because I do believe Sylvanas said it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like Necromancer,
yep.
Or this, and yeah.
Yep.
3.
I was trying to remember too. And I go back and watch our games, and I still couldn't remember. All right. Yeah, go ahead and make one more investigation check, and they will as well.
Investigation?
Investigation, yeah. Yep. Yeah, because it's not really history, because you don't know this history.
Yeah, that's an 11, because my dice keep failing me.
They rolled a 6, so no. You guys do a little bit of digging around. You definitely know of the, I mean, it's more god history, known god history, right? The what the heck is that called? The lattice thing the gods stay behind. You know what I'm talking about. The thing they shoved Vecna into. So there's some on that. There's some posturing and hypothesizing on what that does, how it was formed, more than just the gods made it. There's a little bit of research into that. There is one note that you do find from someone who claimed to have talked to Ioun at one point. This is very old history, like hundreds of years old, basically an account from this old wizened gnome wizard who claimed one night he was visited by Ioun. It kind of sounds like the ramblings of a madman,
Yeah.
but said that that energy that created that lattice that keeps the gods on the other side of reality and doesn't let them interfere with the planes they created, that it actually came from somewhere else. But the ramblings it's ramblings, like the old man on the hill, like that kind of thing. It does not sound legit. And
Old
even
man yells at clouds.
yes, basically, yeah, get off my lawn, yeah. And it's even Flux is kind of looking at it, and they're like, I've seen that before, and clearly in the researcher's notes, it's basically this guy's a nut, and I don't believe no one would claim that they talk to a god and not be a cleric. Like, there's just not,
Yeah.
you just don't do that. That's about all you find.
Yeah. Alicia probably just like after a couple of hours, just like put the books down and just like take a huge like deep sigh and just like give up almost. Be like, thought I would find more, but
Flux's watery figure is starting to even come more into a solid form at this point, definitely more corporeal than previously, and you now see a very androgynous person who is kind of looking at you with confusion a little bit. Just I don't want to be a pest or a nosy busybody, but there has to be a reason you're looking for this stuff. Just, I mean, is the world in danger again? Are we?
I really hope not. That would be terrible. No, just we've been in adventures recently, and we came across. I was in Singorn,
Mm-hmm.
and there I got a vision in the.
It was the memory ward.
Reward of uh, a ship, an ocean storm, and the name Vogon. And then a guy we were traveling with got a same vision with like trees and Sylvanas, and we went to the Feywild. We met Sylvanas. Sylvanas died. We met his son. We had to kill his son. All in all, it was just a huge thing, and I just want to know what's going on.
I'm not.
And
I
she's just
mean,
rambling and just like saying almost everything that happened, and just like
okay.
uh, not everything, but like shortened version of just like getting it out to someone who wasn't there, almost.
So you came to Emon to research, or
No, we came to Mon because we met Alora when Tyrax took us to his master, and she said that we could stay at her house while the sash that we found was being studied on, and then afterwards we can go back to the sash. And yeah, so she was just kind of saying, I've been a fan of her, and she's one of my huge idols. I wouldn't say no to that, but
I don't know that anybody would. So you're
no.
going back. You're gonna talk to Yurik. Well, what's he gonna do with this thing? This thing, right? This
Wait,
sash.
the thing, we don't know what it is or what it
Okay.
does. We I think he wants to destroy it. A companion of mine wants to keep it for himself. Uh, we don't know what we're gonna do with it. I just want to lock it up away from people to be studied on.
I mean, if it's
But
dangerous, yeah, for sure. I think trying to. I mean, if anybody's gonna figure it out. You're one of the most, if not the most powerful magic user in all of Exandria.
Exactly.
That's the person to. I will remind you, the DM will remind you, he did mention the ritual of resistance.
Yeah.
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 Okay. I'm mentioning it for a very specific reason because if you tell that to Flux,
Yeah, I'll say, yeah. You mentioned
okay,
something about ritual and resistance, I think it was called.
actually, Flux is familiar with that. It's if my understanding is correct, it's a form of. So I don't know how much if you ever went around Wynandir, but there are some clerics there who, I don't know, about 50, the local legend is basically that about 50 years ago, they dug up while they were trying to build a new temple, some strange finger bone. And it
Way.
tried to imprint on one of the people who dug it up, and they managed to do this, like a form of this ritual to kind of like dampen the powers and lock it away.
Does this bone remind me of the bone thing we found in
It
the necromancer house?
sounds oddly familiar.
This, do you know what happened to that finger bone?
I think it's in the Lyceum's vaults.
Did Laura say I had access to everything here? Or no, not the walls probably, but if I ask her nicely.
She said you had access to the private students'
Yeah,
library,
Parisians
the
library.
building you're in right now. I mean, I would assume it's in the vaults. That's kind of either that or Urix got it. It's probably only in one of a couple of places.
Guess I'll have to ask Oliver about that too.
I checked
We
with her.
found something in the Yeah, we found something in Necromancer's house that might be something like that.
Oh.
It was a
Oh.
creepy finger in a bottle, and it said to be Allhammer or something.
Oh.
Our clerics got it in the bag.
That's creepy.
It was
That's
creepy. It was really
creepy.
creepy.
That's a little,
The
and they give a
Necromancer's
little
house,
shiver, like, ooh.
the Necromancer's house was creepy as hell.
Ugh.
Hells.
Yeah, I don't mess with any of that stuff. That stuff gets you into trouble way too quickly.
I
Yeah, just ask Alora. I mean, she's gonna know one way,
yeah.
or she won't tell you. I mean, which might also be a sign that it's here.
I'll ask her when I get back.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. They stretch and stand up. They're like, and they go back to full height, and about 6 feet tall. And they say, I mean, if it's okay, I think I'm gonna just head back to the students' dorm. I should probably sleep.
Thank you so much for everything. This has been an amazing day, hours. How long have we been here?
About 12 hours at this point. So an entire day.
Oh, and she was awake. She was awake for 6 hours before this. I think she's been out for 24 hours now.
Oh no. Um, they hold out their hand and shake yours, and they say, I mean, I'm a student here, so if you're around, come and say hi, or if you need anything, just let me know.
DM, I think, at least one message scroll.
Uh
Is
huh.
that something I could just use for?
You can use it whenever. Yep.
Yeah, but I can only use that like to contact the person that gave it to me with Artian, right?
Achan gave it to you.
Yeah.
The intent
Yeah.
was to use it to communicate with him, but it really has it has no determined receiver.
Okay, so if Fox has say one, I could contact them too.
Yeah.
Do you have a message scroll so I can contact you also if?
Hold on a second. Yeah, there you go. You see them kind of pat their pockets, and like little bits of like parchment start falling out of their pockets, and there's like a bookmark that falls on the floor, and they're like, "Oh wait, hold on a second." They
I
start
love
patting
them.
their other like little cloak pockets, and actually, wait. Oh, no, here it is, and it's very similar to the one that you have.
Amazing. I have a message scroll too, so if I could contact you the next time I'm around Emon and we can meet up.
Yeah,
Or if I
definitely.
want to contact you for anything else too.
Yeah, of course. Or yeah, if you've just got a question. I mean, I
Yeah,
have access to the books here, so if you need me to look something up on the fly,
yeah, thank you.
yeah, you're
He's just
welcome.
grinning right now. He's,
You have a new friend.
yeah,
They kind of wave goodbye. They don't even bother to put the books away. It's just like they'll be here later. Everyone knows this is my pile,
yeah.
and start to wander off out of
Yeah.
this part of the Lyceum, and you see them disappear with one more wave around the corner, and they're gone.
Alicia will probably just laugh with herself, thinking about she actually made a friend on her own, and just like start slowly realizing how tired she is and how
Oh
long she's
yeah.
been awake, and just start heading back towards Dolores Tower and the bed.
Okay. You head back, and it's full night now, but there's still
Yeah.
a lot of people out. There's just constant festival preparations that are happening. A couple people spill out of a nearby tavern as you walk by. They're laughing. They got their arms slung over each other. It's two girls, and they're cracking up at something. People are just, it just seems very jovial. I need you to make a perception check for me.
Uh, I'm not going to use my dice. I don't trust them anymore.
No
For today,
trust
at
in
least.
the dice.
At least not to have -1.
Oh. Oh.
No, I'm in my own head.
Okay, yeah, you're in your own head. Yeah, with a 9. You don't really. It's dark. You don't really. You're too focused on what just happened and the noise of the carousers around you, and you're not really paying attention. And then you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I probably still like in my head, just like, oh, what happened? And turn around and see who's tapping my
Out
shoulder.
of the corner of your eye, you see the tail of a black cloak go down an alley.
I prepare a mind spike spell in case anything happens
Okay.
and start following.
Okay. You get a little ways down the alley, and you do see this figure in all black with a hood, running down the alley, and they turn and they face you, and then they dart around the corner and they disappear.
I can't run. If I run through the alley and they're gone,
If you are you going further down
well,
the alley to where they turned?
I'm following.
Oh, you're following. Okay. So you turn the corner and they're gone.
Yeah.
And then when you look around and then up, they are above you on the roof. Crouched there, just looking down at you. You see no details on this figure.
Can I then cast? Because Mind Spike will allow me to follow them, attract them for an hour, I think.
Oh shit! All right.
Uh,
Is there a so that's one of your
yeah.
no? You do what you want. No, you do what you want. You are alone.
I'm short. I'm alone, so. Uh,
They're just on the roof.
yeah. And I asked casting was like, "Hi, well, listen, shout some, what you want or who are you?" And if they run, I'll cast Mind Spike.
You're gonna cast Mind Spike?
If they run,
If
right
they
now I'm
run.
just shouting.
There is no movement from, and the tail end of their cloak is kind of fluttering in the light breeze. They are as still as a statue. And then you see them reach into their pocket and drop a little something. It flutters down like paper off the roof and lands near you.
Can I pick it up without taking my eyes off them?
Sure, you can do that. You pick it up, but you can't. You have to move your eyes to the paper to read it.
To look at it.
Yep, up to you.
I'll look at it and then, yeah.
Okay.
They can get away if they
Yeah,
want to.
you look at it and they're gone.
Yeah.
Took off across the rooftops, and it says it's a like a ripped off piece of parchment, like they tore it off the bottom of a piece, and in a heavy hand in black ink, it says, "I will find you at the festival."
That's not creepy at all. She just says that out loud in the alley and then shakes her head, puts the thing, like, put the paper in one of her pockets and starts heading back towards.
Okay.
Because I don't think I've look at objects. I can't look at their. I have it, but I don't have it prepared, so I can't look at their tape.
No, you cannot track their pants. No.
No, I can't look at their pants.
I do
Not
believe
today.
someone in Vox Machina tried to. Can I track their pants?
Yeah,
No.
Laura.
It was Laura. That's right. No, you can't
Laura.
do that. Sorry. Nope. Okay, so you head back to Alora's Tower. Is there anything else? You have several days still until the start of the festival. That's where we're going to pick up the next game.
Yeah.
So, actually, probably like a day-ish before the festival, because there are some group things that I know you guys wanted to do. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
I just have to make sure what other spells there was. I think it was just yeah, it was this question if I could learn, like, if I ask Laura if she has the shield spell written somewhere, and I learned that without having to use one of my spell slots that I get from my leveling up.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. If you want to do that in the morning or whenever you wake up.
Yeah,
next.
just ask her if she has the shield spell anywhere, or if she knows where I can get a copy of it so I can learn it.
Yeah, actually, she does. She says there's a small kind of a sundries shop for the Lyceum students that you would probably for a slightly higher price be able to buy it. So let me look real quick. Shield is a what level spell? Third?
I think it's first level spell.
Oh, is it first? Okay.
I think it's shield.
Let me check here. First level abjuration. Yep, it's a reaction.
Yeah, it's the one that just reaction spell that gives me a +1 to plus 5 to AC, I think.
Yeah. So for 75 gold, you could buy it.
Yeah, she buys it and.
Okay. Yeah, you have it, and then you could transfer it.
Yeah, transfer it and. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
That will cost me 50 more, right?
50?
Yeah.
Yep. Take you 2 hours. And you can do that. It's an Arcana check, but the DC's even lower this time since it's a first level. Yeah. So there's unless you roll a 1.
17.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Holy moly! Like a pro.
I rolled a
just
17,
like got
and
it.
I have more Arcana.
Yeah.
So,
that's easy enough for you to do.
I'm just calculating how much money I have left in my own funds if I'm just not using party points right now.
Negative 20. No.
Not negative 20. 10.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Yeah, you might want to hit Olrun up for some party fun.
I'm going to hit Olrun up after everything and then ask for more.
Oh, for sure. Okay, so you have shield spell now.
Yeah.
What else would you like to do?
The rest of the time I'll just probably just read and like probably now when I like the Lyceum, I'll probably try again to read about the parents stuff and trying to figure out like just because she feels like she can't do anything more with the Sylvanas and Vogan, and just like, okay, I'm just gonna read up on the old stuff and see if any new things have come since I checked last.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. I'm trying to think here. What was it on again? I'm sorry, I lost the thread of...
Oh, yeah. She's basically, like, searching for, like, anything about, like, missing people.
Oh, okay.
Anything that looks like the same deal that happened to her parents.
Sure. The Lyceum doesn't really have a lot of that kind of it's almost like case file type of stuff that you would be looking for. That type of more modern history really isn't there. You do some digging. I mean, there's all kinds of stories about people going missing, but nothing sounds familiar to the situation with your parents, unfortunately. And you don't. Yeah, it's another day of frustration at this point for you. Yeah.
But like, this is frustration she's used to, considering how much time she used as a younger.
Sure.
So it's not a. And then she'll probably, like, the day after, ask Alora if she has time to go over the necromancy book.
Yeah, you can do that.
And that stuff.
Okay. You do actually catch Alora as she's leaving breakfast with a figure you've heard of but never met, a halfling, dark blonde hair woman who looks like she could kick your ass and make you like it. And they share a quick kiss, and Kima looks at you and she's like, the one of the people you said was here, and Alora's like, oh yeah, sorry, we everyone's been so busy. And Kima kind of shrugs her shoulders. She's like, hey, nice to meet you, and sticks her hand out. Kima.
Eilissia.
Nice to meet you. Nice to have another small person around here. All these tall people, I can't stand it half the time.
Have you met the rest of my party?
No, are they all small people?
We are one dragonborn, 2 dwarves, a halfling, and me.
What kind of party is that? I love it. I love it. I need to see all of them now. This is fantastic. She looks at Alora kind of accusingly, very playful though. Like, how could you not tell me about this? Alora's like, I didn't. You just got here. I didn't. She's like, don't worry about it. I got it. All right. I gotta go. I got training to do, but I'm gonna take you up on that offer, Eilissia, because that's pretty fantastic. I like it. And just laughs on her way out the doors. 2 dwarves, a gnome, and a halfling. Oh my god. And is gone. Alora just shakes her head. She's like, I love that woman, but she finds humor in the strangest things sometimes. I don't get it. Was there something you needed, dear? I'm sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. I have this book that we found. Did we tell you about the necromancer's house that we went to?
You did not, and that already has my interest and also my concern all at the same
time. She'll just probably tell her about the necromancer's house and the things we did there, and then show her the book and tell her about this creepy skin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys can spend some time looking through both of these items. Alora immediately latches on to the creepy skin thing. And it's like, that's dark. That's just great. Hold on. I gotta find my notes. All right. Where is it? There it is. Okay. She spends some time with it. She is going to try to identify that, actually.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Okay. Yeah. That'll work. She says, well, despite the rather gruesome nature of this piece, because it is literally flayed skin, it actually has a bit of protection magic to it. It's think like a ring of protection, but you have to put it on underneath your armor. It has to be touching your skin. Gives you a +1 to your armor class and a +1 to your saving throws you're proficient in.
That's creepy.
Like I said, it's useful, but it's very creepy. I don't know too many people who would, and it makes sense a necromancer would have had it on their person, literally on their person. That's just, that's a little too much for me.
I'll ask if anyone in my group wants it, but I think the answer is no. I hope the answer is no. To be quite honest.
I was about to say something out of character, and I was like, nope, not even going to suggest that. Never mind. Okay, so you have that now. You have this basically runic tattoo of protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, on someone's flayed skin. That's fantastic.
That's fun.
That's fun. And then the book. You guys have to really sit with this thing. Partially out of the fact that it is ambiguous in nature and that Allura is being extremely cautious with it. She's very worried about what this thing could do, and is actually a little concerned that it's not locked away somewhere. She's not accusing you of anything, but she's just recommending that maybe this not be just put into a bag of holding with a group of adventurers, because if someone were to find it who had other intentions, this could be a very bad thing.
If you want to take it from me, please. I don't want to be near it or touch it again.
I mean, so she hasn't even opened the book yet. She's just looking at it.
Yeah.
All right, hold on just a second. My friend was just like, "I'm here." I have to tell my husband to go open.
Sorry for keeping you so long.
There, you're fine. No, all good. Okay, so what you actually wind up doing is you guys are both kind of staring at it. She's going to try to open it. Oh boy. Oh, dice down. No, wait, come back. I keep dropping my friggin' dice. What is going on? All right, I have officially lost it, so we're going to roll another one. It's there somewhere. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, because the DC is fairly high on this. She opens it and she says, she reads the first few pages, slams it shut, and says, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is very dangerous, and this is something that I can keep it here. I can keep studying it if you want, but it's going to take me some time. The other thing that you could do is you could give it to Yurik.
Yeah, I just don't want to. If you want to take it, then keep it and just spend the time you need. I just don't want it.
We have some
strange
artifacts. Yeah, we have some different strange, dangerous magic pieces in the vaults. I can definitely lock it away. That's not an issue.
Speaking of the vaults,
yes.
Do you know if there's a finger bone? And then I mentioned the story in there.
That is a very good question. Hold on, I gotta find my D20. I need it. I gotta find it. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, sorry about that. I know that's gonna probably sound weird on the recording. So, she actually doesn't know a ton about the vaults. That is another person's domain. There is a vault keeper that she can talk to, but it will take her... You have to put in a formal request. It's a very rigid type of thing. She's willing to put the request in if you can describe it, the item, as best you can. But
I'm gonna try.
Okay, so you do that. She will write it down and say it literally goes to someone we call the Vault Keeper, and that's kind of their domain. They're very, as they should be, protective of the collection, and at the same time a little rigid, which I'm grateful for, but it can still be kind of a pain for even those of us who, actually run the Lyceum. So
yeah,
it's always interesting to get that. I'm hoping before you leave I'll have something, but I'm not sure at this point if that's all right.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I just remember it now. I mentioned something about it on 2 days ago. That's what I thought about it. And also because we found the finger in the Necromancer's home.
Right. Yeah, check back with me before you guys leave, Emon, and I'm hoping that I can go back to the Spires of Yurik with all of you. But I never know when I'm going to be pulled in 5 different directions. So, but yeah, check back with me, and I'll see what I can find.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great.
Well,
was there anything else you wanted to do?
I'm gonna help Naraxis and Hazel research, and I think that's it.
Okay, we will do that jointly on the next full game for sure.
If I have any downtime, I'll probably start transcribing some of my first or like spells into a like separate spell book in case I lose the one I have.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You bump you know you do all of this and you bump into some of the other party members and manage to talk to all of them as they're coming and going. You see
Yeah.
Ulrin, one day come back and he looks exhausted. He's clearly been at the forge all day. He's just like covered in
Yeah.
soot, and you see Volkar come back and forth a little bit. He's always laughing and singing and playing that strange instrument on his back. Hazel goes back and forth a little bit, sometimes with Neuraxis, other times on her own. And you guys all sometimes manage to meet up for meals and that type of thing, but it's just you're
Yeah.
so busy with everything that you're doing individually, you know that the festival is going to be a good chance to get together again as a party.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that everything for Eilissia?
That's unless you want me to like roll for checking if I can transfer spells, but that's it.
I'm not too worried about transferring from spellbook to spellbook, unless it were a higher level spell that you did not have a spell slot for.
Yeah, it's probably just first and starting with the first and second
Okay.
level
Yeah,
spells.
you can easily do that. You're basically just making a backup spellbook. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I will. We'll leave it there, and then we'll get the party back together on the March 4th game.
I'm so excited.
Yay! Thanks so much.
Thank you. That was amazing. Uh, I